Once you've turned it down, then what you're going to do is with the smooth side up onto your fabric, you're just going to iron this on to your material. And you'll see that the glue then transfers over to your fabric. With this, you don't want the iron to be too hot, but also you want to make sure that you have covered all areas. And you can see the colour of the paper underneath changing in the bits that are not done and the bits that are done. So when you've done that, the next bit is then you want to cut it. You want to then cut it into how you're going to attach it. So I'm just going to cut around my transfer tape for now, because that will allow me to then draw and convey what design I'd like to do. So now I've got my fabric on one side, the transfer paper on the other. So what I want you to do is then you can take your cutting boards to use a measurements to allow you to square it off. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to square my fabric off. And I'm going to square it off onto the side that is the straightest. So using your greater square, and for this you could use a pencil onto the transfer tape. And with your pencil, you just simply draw a line down. And from that line, you can then line up all your other edges to square it off into a perfect square. Once you've done that, then taking your scissors, cutting inside. This will allow you to then be able to shape this type of fabric. This method does create a lot of excess fabric waste, which, looking at a sustainability point, we'd rather not waste as much fabric as this and also the tape, because not only is it expensive, but it also is environmentally friendly, throwing out so much fabric. So when you're doing it, you want to try to get to the very, very edge of your design. So with this, you can then put it on. So what I'm going to do is put it onto my measuring tape at the top, and I'm going to do 50, 100, 150, 200. And I'm going to then line up my lines, making sure that these are square. So that's me giving myself a 5cm strips to start off with. Once I've got my 550 strips, and as you can see now I've got excess again, I'm going to trim it off so you can see how much excess this is creating. And then I want to measure, so it's 150, and that would be 75. That'd be 7.5 centimeters down. And now you can see that I've got boxes. And what I want you to do is then cut these boxes out, carefully cutting along each of the lines. Now that you've cut along the lines, the next bit is you want to remove your cutting mat from your workspace or move towards the iron. And I want you to then carefully peel off the tape. Now this bit it can be quite fiddly. It's sometimes useful to use a needle to get underneath the tape. And then you want to, once you've got underneath it, carefully peel off the fabric, and you will see that now the glue is transferred over to your fabric. Now that you have got all the backing tape off your small pieces of blue fabric, making sure that the glue side is upright for now, I want you to then get your piece of fabric, so in my case the yellow sample, lay it out. Then I want you to, using your placements, then place the fabric on different parts of the fabric. So we want to use a decorative design, and we want to kind of analyze it. So for instance, I could do this. Using the iron on your low to medium setting again, I want you to then iron each of the different fabrics onto this. What the tape transfer tape does is it allows the fabric to then be stuck to the other fabric. This allows you to then be able to sew it a lot easier and be more precise with your sewing. So making sure that you have ironed these very well and glued to your sample. The next step is then you're going to take it over to the sewing machine, and I want you to thread your sewing machine on a coloured thread that matches, and I want you to sew around the edge using a straight stitch, or you can use a zigzag stitch, or you can use different other sewing machine stitches. Once you have went round each of your blocks with the sewing machine, it'll then appear as such. So this is me using a straight stitch. This is me using a scalloped edge. Small zigzag. Big zigzag. And with that then you want to just give that a wee quick iron over. And once you've ironed it then it will be done.